we discussed different cases of bending a bar magnet and how to find the resultant magnetic moment of bar magnets after bending. Now the next topic is combination of bar magnets. If you take two bar magnets like this is the first bar magnet of magnetic moment M, this is the second bar magnet of magnetic moment M2, this is M1 and M2, such that these two are placed such that this is south pole and north and north pole. When two magnets are arranged along a straight line such that unlike poles in contact, then the resultant magnetic moment of this combination of the bar magnets is given by M1 plus M2. Why? Because M1 is acting from south to north pole along x-axis, M2 also acting from south to north pole along x-axis, and as these two magnetic moments are acting in the same direction, magnetic moment being a vector, we can add this, or you can write this as M bar is equal to M1 bar plus M2 bar, and magnitude wise also this is equal to M1 plus M2. Directly we can add these two. Suppose if the same bar magnets here with the unlike poles in contact with the like poles in contact, what happens? Let us say if one of the magnet is reversed, like poles in contact, then what is the new magnetic moment? So this remains as M1 bar only, but this will become M2 bar, but in the acting in the negative along negative x-axis, so I need to write minus. But we don't know whether M1 is greater than M2 or M2 is greater than M1, so we can write this as M1 difference M2. If M1 is greater than M2, then M net is given by M1 bar minus M2 bar, with like poles in contact with each other. Similarly, if you take two magnets are arranged such that the combination is given such that this is the first bar magnet having magnetic moment M1, and this is another bar magnet having magnetic moment M2. This is M2, and the angle between these two is given as theta. So what is the resultant magnetic moment of this combination? So magnetic moment generally here this is south pole, this is north pole. Let us say this is south pole, this is north pole. Here like poles in contact with each other. I am writing here like poles are in contact. When the like poles are in contact with each other, we can write M1 is acting from south to north pole like this, and M2 is acting along this path like this. Angle in these two is 90, theta. Now the resultant magnetic moment or net magnetic moment is given by root over, we are going to use a parallelogram law of vector relation, which is given by M1 square plus M2 square plus 2 M1 M2 cos theta. So if you know this theta value, you can find this magnetic moment very easily. Suppose if M1 is equal to M2 is equal to M and theta is equal to 90 degrees, that means I am going to arrange two magnets. This is M1 which is equal to M, this is M2 which is also equal to M. That means two identical bar magnets with similar poles or like poles in contact. Then this will be M1, this will be M2. As theta is 90, I can write M net is given by root over M square plus 2 MM. Cos 90 is 0. So this will become root 2m. This is the resultant magnetic field which is going to act along this direction. And sometimes they may ask you to find out the alpha or phi, whatever may be, the direction of the resultant magnetic field with one of the bar magnet, either this one or this one. So generally if these two are equal, this will become 45 degrees. Here, if like poles are in contact, we got this formula m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos theta. Let us say unlike poles are in contact with each other. So this is M1 and this is M2. Here unlike poles are in contact with this is north pole, south pole, this is north pole and south pole. Here unlike poles are in contact with each other. If unlike poles are in contact with each other, now you can write this pole, this magnetic moment is acting like this, this is M1 and it is acting like this, this is M2. The angle between these two magnets is given as theta as the same case because only this magnet was reversed here. Now what is the resultant magnetic moment of this combination? The resultant or net magnetic moment is given by root over M1 square plus M2 square plus 2 into M1 M2 cos. What is the angle between these two? Here one of the dipole moment is in this direction, the other one is in this direction and this angle is theta, but I want an angle between two magnetic moments, so which is equal to 180 minus theta. So this I am going to write as 180 minus theta. So this can be written as root over M1 square plus M2 square plus cos 180 minus theta. It is in second quadrant, cos theta only. In second quadrant cos is negative, so this will become minus cos theta. So if you multiply this with 2 M1 M2, this is M1 M2 cos theta. Remember here I got plus M1 M2 cos theta when like poles are in contact. With unlike poles in contact you will get minus 2 M1 M2 cos theta. Two bar magnets are placed perpendicular to each other. Two bar magnets kept perpendicular to each other. Now here perpendicular means, see, this is a first bar magnet, this is second bar magnet, so these are said to be perpendicular to each other. Or even if one bar magnet is placed like this and other bar magnet is placed like this, and here also these two are said to be perpendicular to each other. And in the third case, here we can write one bar magnet is placed like this, another bar magnet is placed like this. So in this case also all these three are said to be perpendicular to each other. This is north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. This is south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south and north and south and north. Let us say these are identical bar magnets. So what is the magnetic moment in this case? So this is M, this is M. So M is given by, this will be in this direction, this will be in this direction. So M net is given by root over M1 square plus M2 square, as the angle between these two is 90, 2 M1 M2 cos 90 will become 0. Now in this case, this is the first bar magnet of magnetic momentum, this is second bar magnet of magnetic momentum, and these two are perpendicular to each other. Once again the magnetic moment is given by root over M1 square plus M2 square. In the third case, this is the first bar magnet of magnetic momentum, this is the second bar magnet of magnetic momentum. So M is given by root over M1 square plus M2 square. So in all these cases, suppose if the similar poles or like poles are in contact or unlike poles in contact, this formula remains as it is. Instead of this down, if it is south pole and north pole, this movement will act up and the formula remains as it is. This is M1 and this is M2. Resultant magnetic moment will be M1 square M2 square only. Now, suppose if identical bar magnets are placed as the closed polygon, then what would be the magnetic moment? So here I am going to take, this is the first bar magnet, this is the second bar magnet, this is the third bar magnet. So three magnets are placed such that they form a closed polygon. So this is a triangle here. So identical bar magnets kept in the form of a closed polygon. So this is a triangle, or you can take one square also. Even if you take one hexagon also or pentagon. Now, what is the magnetic moment of this arrangement? Let us say this is the south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole. So in this case, unlike poles are in contact with each other. These are all cases, in all these cases, unlike poles are in contact with each other, are in contact. Now, all are identical, so the pole strength as well as the magnetic moment of each bar magnet will be m, and the pole strength is small m. So this is m, this is m. So what is the resultant magnetic moment? So I am going to write m net is given by, this is along x axis, and this is along this direction, and this is along in this direction. So we need to find out this and this and this. We know that this angle is 60 degrees. So this is a m2 here, this is m2, or actually all are identical m only, this is m. So what is the angle between these two? This is 120, because this is m, this is m, angle between these two is 120. Similarly, as it is 60, this angle is also 120 degrees. So first let me find out the magnetic moment of this magnet and this magnet first. So first let me take this as a first magnet, this is a second magnet, and this is a third magnet. So what is the resultant of first and second magnet here? M12, resultant magnetic moment of the first and second magnet. Here I can write root over m square plus m square plus 2m into, this is first magnetic moment, this is second magnetic moment, angle between these two is 120. This is cos 120 degrees. Cos 120 minus 1 by 2. So this will become root over m square plus 2m square into minus 1 by 2. These two get cancelled and this get cancelled. This will become m. So resultant magnetic moment of these two bar magnets, only the first one and the second one, these two will be equal to m only. But what is its direction? You can see this diagram. First bar magnet movement is in this direction, second bar magnet movement is in this direction. The resultant magnetic moment will be in this direction. So this is M12. Now in place of two bar magnets, I can replace this with one bar magnet. So I am going to replace this one with a single bar magnet whose direction of the magnetic moment will be in this direction. That means this is the south pole, this is the north pole. So this is M12, which is equal to M only. But what is the third magnet? So third magnet is in this direction. This is the third magnet. So here the third magnet is having south pole here, north pole here, and the magnetic moment is in this direction, which is equal to M. You can see M12 is equal to M, and the third magnet M3 is equal to M, and both are acting in the opposite direction. So this is M12, this is M3. So M net is given by M12 plus M3. This is M, this is minus M. Why? Because in one direction this is positive, in the opposite direction it should be negative. So net magnetic moment due to this closed polygon with unlike poles together will be 0. Similarly, if you come to this case, here we can write south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole. In all these closed polygons, let us say unlike poles are in contact with each other. This is very simple. Here magnetic moment is from south to north. Here magnetic moment is from south to north, and both are equal and opposite. These two get cancelled with each other. Similarly, if you take this one, this is south to north pole M, this is south to north pole M. These two also equal and opposite cancels. So M net due to a square arrangement is also equal to 0. Similarly, if you come to this case where 6 identical bar magnets are placed as a closed polygon, south to north, 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 south to north. You can see this is M, but this is minus M here. Why? Because these two are similar identical magnets whose magnetic moments are acting in the two opposite directions. Resultant of these two will be 0. Similarly, resultant of these two will be equal and opposite 0, and similarly this and this will have equal and opposite magnetic moments. So net magnetic moment of this one is 0. So the conclusion is, whenever identical bar magnets kept in the form of a closed polygon with unlike poles are in contact, the net magnetic moment of that arrangement is always equal to 0. Already we discussed a similar case in case of coil in moving charges. Here if current is flowing like this, if current divides equally, magnetic moment center is 0. This is magnetic field induction 0, but this is magnetic moment is 0. Even if you take a regular hexagon, triangle or square, the net magnetic field induction at center will be 0 in this case. Here net magnetic moment of the combination will be 0. In this case, if unlike poles are in contact with each other, the net magnetic moment is 0. So I am going to draw the same diagram here with a single line. So this is M, this is M, this is M, this is M, M, M. So here these are placed such that the unlike poles are in contact. South, north, south, north, south, north, like this. This is south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south and north, south and north, south and north. Then if they are arranged in a cyclic order with unlike poles together, the net magnetic moment here is equal to 0. Already proved it. Why? Because opposite magnets will have equal and opposite magnetic moments and they cancel with each other. In this arrangement, if a bar magnet is removed, if one of the bar magnet from this arrangement is removed, so let me remove this bar magnet here. If you remove this one, we know that this and this will have equal moment, but in opposite direction cancels. These two cancels. Only this magnetic moment is available. Only this magnetic moment is there. So M net will become equal to the magnet whose magnetic moment is acting opposite to the removed magnet. So in this regular hexagon, opposite to this one, it is acting like this, and this is the direction of the magnetic moment. So this is the first case. Now in the same case, let us say this magnet is placed like this only, with the south and north poles are here. If one of the magnet is reversed, if one of the magnet is reversed, so let me reverse this magnet. So this will become north, this will become south. So this is the direction of magnetic moment, this is the direction of magnetic moment, but this bit cancels, this will be cancelled out. So these two are acting in the same direction, then the net magnetic moment will become 2m here. Similarly, one more case is third case, this is second case, so this will be first case. If two adjacent magnets are removed, so first let me take the unlike poles are arranged such that S and N all are in the same direction, in the same cyclic order. Now what I am going to do, I am going to remove two adjacent magnets. So I am going to remove this magnet as well as this magnet here. So if I remove two adjacent magnets, now you can see this magnet and this magnet have magnetic moments in the opposite direction. So these two will be cancelled. So remaining two magnets are available now. So only two magnets are available whose magnetic moments are not acting in opposite directions. So this is first magnet, one of the magnet, this is the other magnet, only two because these two are having equal and opposite magnetic moments in this 4. So these two will be cancelled out. So this is M, this is M, but these are placed such that this is Sn, this is Sn. So this magnet is having magnetic moment in this direction, this magnet is having magnetic moment in this direction. So this is the angle between two magnetic moments. We know that this is 120, this will become 60. So the net magnetic moment is given by root over m square plus 2 mm into, this is cos 60 which is equal to 1 by 2 cancels, m square plus m square plus m square. So this will be root over 3m square which is equal to root 3 times of the magnetic moment of each power magnet in this combination. Comes on combination of power magnets. Here you can see 4 different power magnets of a different magnetic moment are placed are kept as the sides of a square. Here the magnetic moment is 3m, 4m, m and 2m. What is the net magnetic moment of this combination? First of all, to find out this one, 2m, 3m is acting in this direction, m is acting in this direction. So what is the sum of these two? The magnetic moments along x-axis is equal to, one is 3m which is acting in the positive x-axis and m is acting along negative x-axis. So here I have to write minus sign or plus into minus minus 2m minus m is, this is 2m I cap. This is the magnetic moment along x-axis. Similarly, what is the magnetic moment along y-axis? Here south to north it is downwards, here south to north upwards. So this moment is more than this. So this you can write 4m minus j cap plus 2m plus j cap. So as it is more, 4m plus 2m, this is minus 4m plus 2m, minus 2m j cap. So what is the resultant of these two? Why? Because I combine these two as a single magnet, and finally mx is acting along positive x-axis. So this is 2m and my is acting along negative x-axis, means negative y-axis. This is minus 2m, but if you want to take only magnitude y, because already we are denoting this with plus I and minus I here, the resultant magnetic field will be root over 2m square plus 2m square, which is equal to 4m square plus 4m square, which is equal to 8m square or 2 root 2m. This is the resultant magnetic moment of this combination. This is problem 1. Now I am going to solve this problem 2. Here a bar magnet of magnetic moment m is bent as shown in the figure. So first half of the magnet is bent in the form of a semicircle and then a straight. So actual magnetic moment of the bar magnet is m. Half is bent into form of semicircle, remaining half remains as a straight bar magnet only. So the magnetic moment of this one is m by 2. This is now we have to find out. If it is north pole, if it is south pole, you can write this as south pole, this as north pole. So what is the magnetic moment of this one which is acting in this direction only? So here I am going to write m dash is equal, whenever a magnet is bent in the form of a semicircle, so this is 2m sine theta by 2 by theta. But remember students, the actual movement before bending this one is, if it is m by 2, this is also m by 2. So here I have to write 2 of m by 2 sine theta by 2 by theta. This get cancelled. M dash is equal to m into theta will be 180. 180 by 2 is 90. So 90 is 1. So this is 1 by theta pi. So magnetic moment of this portion from here to here is m by pi, and from here to here is m by 2. And remember, m by pi is acting in this direction, m by 2 is acting in this direction. The resultant magnetic moment of these two will be m by pi plus m by 2 is the net magnetic moment. If you take m common, 1 by pi plus 1 by 2, m common, this is 2 pi, this is 2 plus pi. This is the net magnetic moment of this piece. Similarly, the same bar magnet of magnetic moment m is bent in this form, then what would be the magnetic moment of this portion? Here also this is bent into a semicircle part. So for this one, I will take this as north pole, this as south pole. So here it is acting like this. Just now I found whenever a magnet of magnetic momentum is bent in this form, half of it and remaining half as it is. Here also for this magnetic moment is m by 2, and for this magnetic moment is m by pi. Just now I found this value. But remember students, here m by 2 is acting along x-axis, and this m by pi is acting along negative x-axis, negative y-axis. Resultant magnetic moment m net is given by root over m by 2 whole square plus m by pi whole square. If you take m common, 1 by 4 plus 1 by pi square under root. So you can write this as m into root over pi square plus 4 by 4 pi square, or m by 2 pi root pi square plus 4. This is the net magnetic moment of this one. Now see this diagram. Here 5 different magnets are arranged like this. Each magnet has a magnetic moment m. You can see in this diagram, first magnetic moment is acting along x-axis, third one is acting along x-axis, fifth one is also acting along x-axis. So this is m, this is m, this is m. So sum of these three will be 3m I cap. But what about these two? These two, see, this is acting like this, this is also acting like this. So this magnetic moment is m, this magnetic moment is m, but these are acting along these two directions. Sum of these two will be m plus m. This is 2m. Now instead of 5, now I can draw only one bar magnet which is acting 3m in this direction, and one more bar magnet to represent these two as 2m, and the angle between these two is 60. Now after writing this one, to find the resultant, this is south pole, north pole, this is south pole, north pole. 3m is acting like this, and 2m is acting like this. So I can write this as 3m and this as 2m. If it is 60, this angle will be 120 degrees. Now you can find the resultant of these two as m net is given by root over 3m square plus 2m square plus 2 into 3m into 2m into cos 120. So this is 3m square plus 2m square plus 2 into 3m into 2m into cos 120 minus 1 by 2, these two get cancelled. So 3m is equal to 9m square, 2m whole square is 4m square, 9 plus 4 13, minus this will be 6m square, 13 minus 6 will be root 7m. Magnetic field lines. To visualize the magnetic field graphically, Michael Faraday introduced the concept of magnetic field lines. So what are these magnetic field lines? The imaginary lines, remember these are not real lines. In reality, these lines do not exist. The imaginary lines along which an unit north pole would move freely in a magnetic field, are known as magnetic field lines. Now, how to draw these magnetic field lines? How the magnetic field lines can be traced? So first you take a bar magnet, keep it like this. Let us say this is north pole, this is south pole, and if you keep a unit north pole, remember I am taking a unit north pole. In case of electric field lines, we wrote the same definition as the imaginary lines along which a unit positive charge would move freely in an electric field are known as electric field lines. Here, this is a magnet and it produces a magnetic field around it. In this magnetic field, if you keep a unit north pole, but already I told you monopole does not exist. Do not exist. But here I am going to take a small magnetic needle in which both north and south poles are available, but the direction along which the north pole, see, if you keep a north pole here, north pole will repel to this one. So this is the path where this magnetic needle can move. So the line along which this unit north pole, but actually according to definition it should be unit north pole, but afterwards it found that monopole do not exist. But the line along which this magnetic needle can move are known as magnetic field lines. So what are the properties of magnetic field lines? Here, the properties of magnetic field lines. You take the first one. Magnetic field lines are closed curves, whereas electric field lines are open curves. Why? Because in electric field, if it is the positive charge, if it is the negative charge, field line starts from positive charge, ends on negative charge, like this. But here, these are not open loops. These are electric field lines are open loop, whereas magnetic field lines are closed loop. Outside the magnet, the direction is from north pole to south pole. So outside the magnet, these lines will travel like this. They comes towards south pole. But inside the magnet, they still travel through this one, and they are from south to north pole inside the magnets. That's why this is a closed loop. That means there is no starting point or there is no ending point for any magnetic field line. Whereas electric field line starts from positive charge on the surface of positive charge and they are ending on a negative charge. Now, the tangent drawn at any point to the field line gives the direction of the magnetic field. Here, if you want to find out magnetic field due to this bar magnet, now if you draw a tangent at this point, this will give the direction of the magnetic field at that point. Now, as we know, electric field lines never intersect with each other. Similarly, the magnetic field lines also, two magnetic field lines never intersect with each other. Suppose if any two magnetic field lines are intersecting at a point, here see, in this case, let us say this line is coming like this and this line is going like this. If these two intersect with each other at this point, the field will have two directions. One is along this path, one is along this path. But magnetic field at a point should have only one direction, because magnetic field is a vector. Vector means at a given position or at a given point, it should have only one direction. But you see, as these two magnetic field lines are intersecting with each other, it has two different directions, which is impossible. That's why field lines never intersect with each other. And the fourth point, lines of force tend to contact longitudinally or lengthwise. So when they are traveling lengthwise, they will not try to move in the straight line. They will try to contract. They will try to bend. So due to this property, two unlike poles generally attract with each other. And the fifth point here, field lines are crowded together in regions where the field is strong. You can see in this diagram, you can see the number of lines in this region are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas here, if you draw these lines, number of lines in the same area are only 2. So what is the meaning of this one? Here field lines are crowded together. Why? Because field strength is more, pole strength is more, nearer to the pole, field lines are more. But away from this one, field lines will be moving from each other or away from each other. Next, field lines have a tendency to pass through a magnetic substances. And in case of ferromagnetic substances, we have dia, para, ferromagnetic substances. Field lines will always try to pass through magnetic material, and it is maximum in case if the magnet is made of ferromagnetic substance, more lines will try to pass through this one. For paramagnetic substances, less lines will pass. For diamagnetic substances, generally field lines will not pass through the material. Next, sixth point, field lines have a tendency to pass through this one over. Seventh one, for uniform magnetic field, field lines are straight as well as equidistant from each other, just like electric field. So to represent a uniform electric field, generally we will use field lines which are straight as well as equidistant from each other. This is called uniform electric field. Similarly, to represent magnetic field also, if the field lines are represented with straight lines which are equidistant from each other, so this is named as a uniform magnetic field. Now next one, the point at which resultant magnetic field will become zero in the combined field of two magnets is known as a neutral point or null point. Now suppose if we take two bar magnets here, this is the north pole and south pole, this is one more bar magnet, and here this is north pole and south pole, and if you keep a small magnetic needle here or a north pole here, whose pole strength is 1 ampere meter. Generally these two repels, and if these two forces are equal under this point, the unit north pole will not experience any type of force. So whenever the force is zero, then at that point the magnetic field induction also will become zero, and that point is called neutral point or also known as null point. Coulomb's inverse square law in magnetism. If there are two magnetic poles of pole strength M1 and M2, these are the two different magnets. Why? Because generally for a given magnet, both poles will have same pole strength. But here I am denoting this as one pole of one bar magnet. This is another pole of another bar magnet. So that's why pole strengths are different. And let us say these two are separated by distance d in air. Then Coulomb's inverse square law states that the force of attraction or repulsion. Why? Because we don't know whether these two are north and north or north or south or south or south. So the force of attraction or repulsion between two poles of two different pole strengths is directly proportional to the product of the pole strengths, and this is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two, which is similar to the Coulomb's law in electrostatics. So if you combine these two, you will get F is equal to some constant K. Here I am going to write mu naught by 4 pi M1 M2 by d square. This is the magnetic force of attraction between two magnetic poles. Generally speaking, monopoles do not exist, but to define this one, to give this one, we are just imagining that there are two magnetic poles separated by some distance d. So here mu naught is known as permeability of air or free space. So here mu naught is the permeability of free space, vacuum or air. So generally mu naught value for free space is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 Henry per meter, or if you want to write in terms of this, you can write mu naught is equal to F d square into 4 pi by M1 into M2. So what is the unit of mu naught here? So force is measured in Newton. This is distance square, meter square. 4 pi has no unit, but this is having ampere meter, meter square cancel, Newton per ampere. So the mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 Henry per meter or Newton per ampere minus 2. This is because A into A square. So this is the value that we have to remember. So what is the permeability? The ability of a medium to permit magnetic field lines to pass through them. So permeability is defined as ability of a medium to permit magnetic field lines passing through it. Here you can see this is the first pole and this is the second pole. If the magnetic field lines are starting, let us say this is north pole and south pole. So outside the bar magnet, field lines will travel like this. If the medium between these two is air, so let us say it is allowing 3 lines in this space. If the medium changes, instead of 3, only 2 lines may change or may pass here. Let us say if you keep some material which will not allow these lines to pass, then these two will not attach with each other and that medium is said to have less permeability. So in this definition word itself, the ability of a medium to permit magnetic field lines is known as permeability. Now, instead of air, let us say if these two poles are placed in any other medium. So in any other medium, the force of attraction or repulsion between two poles is given by F is equal to mu by 4 pi. In case of air, this was mu naught, but in case of any medium, so we write this as mu m1 m2 by d square. So this is the force of attraction or repulsion between two poles in any other medium. But now this is called permeability of the medium. Previously this was called permeability of free space. This is called permeability of medium. The ratio between these two, mu and mu naught, is given by the relative permeability. So this is called relative permeability. So which is the ratio between permeability of a medium to the permeability of a free space. Now by cross multiplication you can write mu is equal to mu naught into mu r. So the same expression can also be written as F can also be written as, if you don't know this value, then you write the permeability of the free space, that is 4 pi into 10⁻⁷, into the relative permeability of that medium. Every medium will have a particular relative permeability. Multiply this with the permeability of air, then you will get the permeability of that particular medium by 4 pi by d square.